This garden is meant as an everlasting reminder to always meet hate with love, darkness with light. Dedicated in loving memory of Sean Adler, Cody Kaufman, Blake Dingman, Jake Dunham, Ron Heelis, Alana Housley, Dan Manrique, Justin Meek, Mark Meza Jr., Christina Morissette, Telemicas Orfanos, and Noel Sparks, November 7th, 2019. Hi folks, thanks for joining us today on another TO Talks, and today we are at a very, very critical and important location. This is the Healing Garden, and with me today is Jim Friedl, who is the head of the Conejo Recreation and Parks District, and also Brian Hynes, who is the owner of the Borderline where that tragedy occurred. CRPD was able to put this together in, less than 7 months from the discussion to the completion, and it was your idea, I believe, to have the Thousand Oaks Acorn, who covered the stories. You had them put together this plaque and what was stated, is that correct?
In thinking about who has written more than anyone else about the events, the victims, the victims' families, the survivors, it's been the Acorn. So we really asked the Acorn to try to put into words what all this means.
The City of Thousand Oaks, the City Council, we just agreed to funding $250,000. But the CRPD donated the land and you guys designed it, and I didn't lift a shovel, Jim. Can you tell us all the symbolism, how this came about? I know it's a lot, but share with the folks if you would.
There was a group of folks that included officials from the city and the Park District and the Sheriff's Office and TOPD that were really interested in making sure we were able to recognize appropriately, as best we can, the tragic events of that night. And by constant communication with victims' families and the survivors, Brian, we were able to kind of keep massaging the concept of a healing garden into something that you see today.
We have this concept of 12, 12, and 12. Can you share with everybody the 12 boulders there, the 12 bubblers, and the 12 stones?
You know, the Borderline 12 will always be remembered here in town. And the Borderline was a place of celebration and dancing and, remains so. And the 12 boulders have been added to the stage across the way under the celebratory side. The celebratory side, and that is the district's largest picnic pavilion in the entire system.
This is our central park.
This is the big park. For kind of reflection and thinking about things, we've got the 12 jets that are now added to the pond, which was here, the pond was here, but the jets are new. And here where we're standing is what we really call the Healing Garden itself. And there are 12 benches that were hewn from granite boulders.
California granite.
To create the 12 benches that you see here. And I will also add that on the plaza itself, there are 248 distinctly colored pavers. We call them the Survivor Pavers, so those are the beige pavers. We've invited the survivors and victims' families to come place the pavers and help complete it.
The 248 pavers hit you right in the heart because these are folks that were in your establishment that awful night.
The amount of thought that went into this, and when they told me about the pavers, just really detailed. It's not, yes, the 12 that we lost and we'll miss every day, but they thought about the other ones who just had to live through it, who had to survive through it, and they will always have to live through it. So now they have a place to come and think about it and heal.
I also was touched when you shared with me all the flowers that were amassed by the Borderline, and we saw them by the crosses, just a grip of flowers, a mound of flowers. Most people thought they were thrown away, but that wasn't the case. Tell everybody about those flowers.
Everyone who came every day and just dropped those flowers off and really they put their heart into it as well. The fact that the city, Jim, and you guys took the time to take those flowers, take them down to Camarillo, turn them into mulch, and put that back in the ground to plant that tree. Just those are the things that's just so detailed and people really care. I think that's why it hits me so hard, because for so many years, the 10 years that I did have it, I know, sorry guys, but it's what it is. It's okay to cry. It's okay to cry when these things happen. When you talk about, but those people supported me for those 10 years. And that's why I'm just glad that something like this is there for them.
This place means the world to me, and I know how much it hits you. So
for sure.
Thanks for coming out today to share with everybody. Bless you, man.
Of course, thanks for having me. I really appreciate that.
So folks, with me are Tom and Andrew, who are with the CRPD, and Jim talked about you guys, and we're going to get a chance to hear from you. But also with me is Troy, who's the co-owner of the Borderline. Fellas, welcome. You were both instrumental in not only the design, but also the execution of creating the Healing Garden.
Unfortunately, there's been a lot of these incidents across the United States. We did a lot of research on what it takes to be in a healing garden and what aspects and specifics need to go into a healing garden. So Andrew worked really closely with a bunch of other people, came up with this design, and we also were looking at a place and a park that we felt was very central to the community. This is our most heavily used park that we have, and in addition to being a great park, it also has the amenities needed, such as parking and restrooms, and it's very central to Thousand Oaks.
It completely fits.
Yes,
yeah.
completely fits.
Andrew, tell me, you said there was a lot of community involvement. Tell me and the folks out there a little bit more about that.
So we worked with a great team, great kind of community effort, really from a staff level to a contractor level, as well as donations. So we had...
Yeah, you were telling me the pavers were donated, and a number of things were given by the community. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah. So the paving materials were donated, as well as a specimen tree behind us was donated. So very generous from the community, and really just like what you said, to open is really community projects.
Troy, hearing all this, and being a cone or the borderline, and as Brian was sharing earlier, I mean, it really hits us, and he was choked up, I got choked up. You have a real strong connection to the survivors, and you even knew some of the victims themselves. Tell everybody about what this means to you and just how it hits right in the heart of our community.
I think it's a big thing for a lot of us, especially when I think I speak for a lot of the employees when I say how grateful we are for everything that you guys have done for us and this healing garden and everything. It's an awesome place to come and visit, and you know, there's just so much sentiment here, and we love it, and we feel awesome that we're not feeling like we're going to be forgotten for the years to come.
Thank you for joining us today on another TO Talks. Come on down and enjoy the healing garden. This is a place for comfort, for solace, and for strength. And thank you all for making this possible. God bless you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks, Andrew. Troy, bless you, man. Thanks, folks.